Alright, today at Fixed, I'm going to show you how we replace the glass on an iPhone screen. This one in particular is an iPhone 6 Plus screen. I've already removed it from the phone, removed the components that are on the back, which you can see in another video, either one of mine or on YouTube. There's a numerous amount of videos on how to get the screen to this point, but not many people show how to take it further than this, how to remove the glass, how to replace the glass, how to get it back into a good shape. So one of the things that we're going to do here is I've got a little tester here. This device allows me to test the screens to make sure that they still function. And so I'm going to go ahead and connect the two connectors here. One of these is the display connector and the other is the touch connector. And this will allow me to test each function, make sure that it works. So to turn it on, it's going to give me a series of numbers. These numbers are going to tell me, if I can get it to turn on, hold on. Let's see, I might have to restart it here real quick. They're going to tell me whether or not the touch is good or not in that area, in any given area. So as soon as this turns back on, go ahead and turn it on again. Sometimes it needs a reboot. Alright, hold on. Let me try reconnecting this. Yeah, not everything goes right when you want it to, right? Okay, let's try this again. Because this was just barely working on the customer's phone, it should still work now. So let's try this again. That's better. Okay. So all the blue tells me it's good. If I saw anything that was red, we'd be in trouble. There'd be touch issues with it or something. But up there it says TP OK. Basically typing's okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to shuffle through white screen, black screen, gray screen. A little image here, what your typical iPhone screen would look like. You know, red, it's good, green, all the pixels are looking great, white. Yeah, basically, you're able to test it. Looks good to me. We'll turn that off. Now the next thing I want to do is we're going to start the process of removing the glass, but as you can see, she did a number on it, and a lot of different pieces of glass, and I want to contain them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some tape. Take a piece of that tape, I'm going to lay it out here along the edge. Just stick that down and get it as flat as I can. Don't want any bubbles in there, big creases. Looks good. Another piece of tape. We'll do the other side there as well. So, I'm sorry if you're having trouble seeing some of this. I'm not always aware of the camera angle. I'm trying my hardest, but there we go. Nice and flat. Okay. So in removing this, I've got this, what's called a bezel. It's these metal bracket pieces along the side that I need to take off. So right here, got a blade. It's fairly hot. I'm going to take it over to the corner here, right where the display meets the frame, and I'm going to make a little cut right there. And I'm going to come over to this one up at the top. I'm going to make a cut there as well. Down here at the bottom. Make a cut right there. And over here as well, I'll make a cut. And this will allow me to remove the bezel, this white portion, the white plastic piece, along the edges, only where I need to remove it to get this to work properly. Okay, so Next, move that out of the way. I'm going to grab my heat plate. Alright, let me move my cord there just so you guys can see it. Okay, these little holes that you're seeing here, if you haven't seen it in my other videos, it's just a vacuum. It's going to hold the screen on. See, right now the screen slides around, but if I turn on the vacuum, let me center that a little bit better for myself. Alright, now it won't move. Now I can't get it to move. Alright, we're going to let this sit on here for a little bit. And we're going to wait for it to heat up. And what I want to be able to do is remove this side piece. And when this gets hot enough, what will happen is these will actually start to fall off as I push on them. So we'll wait a little bit longer. After that, you'll see I'll grab this wire here. Alright, it's a very thin wire. It's like 0.08 millimeters in diameter. It's super thin stuff. You can snap it with your fingers if you want. Pretty thin stuff. It'll allow me to cut in between the glass and the display. We're almost there. Side's given in. I'll help myself with some pliers here. As you can see, grab and pull, it'll come off. Right up until where I cut it. Go in the trash, and let's go to the other side and see if we can get the same results. Starting to separate. Alright, let me align this better. Let's see. Okay, so next I'm going to take my blade and just make sure that I am all clear of any debris where I'm going to insert the beginning, looks good, of the wire. So, stretch this wire out, take it up to the top. I'm going to create a little bit of a sawing motion here. And as you can see, as I saw through it, it's going relatively quickly. I'm not forcing it, I'm just moving back and forth and letting it do its thing. You get a little iffy right there because there were a lot of shards in that area. Almost to the end, and then I'm going to go back. Alright, it looks like there's still something at the top, so I'll go up there. Let's hold it on. corner right there. Alright. Okay, so as you can see, display is off. And there's that beautiful glass. Let's turn off the vacuum. All in one piece. Look at that. Ooh. Nice. Alright, that's just trash. And if you have me fix it and you want that as a souvenir, I will gladly give it to you. I could use less trash around here. So, next step, let me get that out of the way. Let me wrap this wire back up for the next time. Is all of this adhesive. I need to remove it. What I have on here is a polarizer, and you've seen me in other videos, if you've watched them, remove this as well. What I'll do is I'll take my machine here. Right. What this has, let's see, a good shot of it. Right up here is a hot razor blade. And what I'm going to do is I'll take the corner of the display up to it and I'll push in, and you can see that it was grabbing the display, but it doesn't look like it's hot enough. I think it got unplugged. Hold on. It did, so I'm going to have to wait until it gets hot enough to keep going on that. Alright, so yeah, I'll be back in a little bit when this is hot enough to move. I'll just go ahead and leave that right there. Alright, so we're back up to temperature now, so I can get this going. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to carefully take this corner. Alright, I'm going to stick it in there. And I'm going to slide. I'm going to cut. What I'm removing is the polarizer. Alright, so I'm just going to get the edge of it lifted a little bit like that to start on it. Alright, the next step is going to be removing it entirely. So what I'll do is I'll take this down like this, and I find that this, and you may find this too, but this part is very satisfying. So I'll just go ahead and we'll start cutting. And as I get closer to the end, sorry if my hand gets in the way, I'll go ahead and stop it right there. And then I'm going to carefully, so you can see that, peel. Let me move this out of the way. Alright. And I'll carefully peel off the last little bit. Alright, there's that piece, and that just goes in the garbage. And as you can see, we are left with a lot cleaner, but there's still this adhesive we need to remove. This stuff's pretty sticky stuff, so I'll go ahead and roll this out of the way. And I'm going to lay this there. Alright, I'm going to get out the little cloth here. This is a a clean room cloth or a microfiber cloth that I can kind of use and dispose of very cost effectively. So hold on. Turn that off. And then I'm going to cover up the bottom here. Okay, right now I'm going to use a special adhesive remover that'll allow me to remove that adhesive really quickly, because you can see some videos online of people cleaning these, and they do fast forward videos that, even though they're timesing it like the speed of the video by like 5 times, it still takes them like 20 minutes. And you know, to clean up the display. With this, there will be no fast forwarding of this video, and which sometimes can make it boring, but at the same time it only takes like 30 seconds for this stuff to do its job. And I don't have to do any scrubbing with this stuff to get it to activate. It just does it on its own. I'm just gonna evenly spread it everywhere. Alright, and right here I've got some acetone that I'm gonna use. Go ahead and grab another microfiber cloth. Alright, and I'm going to go around the edges, and I'm going to tap the edges just to make sure we get that adhesive remover to spread out evenly everywhere. Alright. And I'm going to carefully just rub back and forth this top area, because as you can see, the adhesive is like gone over here, but up at the top it's still there. See the difference? The reason I didn't get the cloth closer is because if I get some of this adhesive remover on this flex cable, I could ruin the display. I'd really not like to do that today, you know? It's just a sad day if a display dies. And you can see how tough it is being right now up at the top. You know, imagine me having to try to clean it like that the entire way. Yeah, no thank you. Alright, I'll go back in and clean that up in a second. Well, let's take care of the rest of the display. So we got some acetone here, and it'll counter the effects of the adhesive remover, stop it from doing anything else. Sticky that stuff is. And I'm just gonna make sure all these little spots that it didn't pick up, or it probably just didn't have enough of it from the pipette there. Just gonna clean up. Give you an idea of how clean this is getting. Let me turn it so we can see the light. See that? Still got some up there. You can see I need to take care of a little bit up at the top left. But the rest of it is pretty much done. And turn this so I can clean it a little bit better. Make sure that's still in the camera shot. You can imagine just seeing me scrub this area. This is acetone. This stuff is pretty brutal. It'll eat through almost anything, including super glue. It's pretty strong stuff, and yet you can see how much of a trouble I'm having cutting through this extra little bit of adhesive. But we're getting there. Slowly but surely. I'm sure you're all bored out of your minds watching this, but it's fun for me, so hey, that's what matters, right? And hopefully you're learning something. Probably that you don't want to do this. That's probably what you're learning, that you don't want to try it yourself, because it's tedious, but fun. Almost there. All right. When you're working with an iPhone screen, it's okay to be a perfectionist. It'll, you know, these little steps that I'm doing now will prevent issues towards the end. All right. I'm gonna move that out of the way. And we're gonna grab our tester again, and we're gonna test everything, make sure it still works, and then we'll go ahead and finish her up, close her out. Grab a okay. We'll go ahead and connect the display again. If I can get it to go. You can also get an idea just looking at this how thin the displays are on the iPhones, and that's like there's a thickness to that isn't even part of the display. Let me show you what I mean. Right here, this is a backlight, all right, and you can see how thick that is. It's still thin, but now take this away from that thickness, and you're left with the thickness of the display, which is like an eggshell. And it's almost as fragile because it is made out of glass, and so that's why this isn't the easiest thing to do. All right, let's go ahead and turn this on. Now, you should be seeing like numbers like before, but because we don't have a polarizer on there, you can't. Now, I've made these glasses here. They're special glasses that allow us to view what's on the screen. Here in a second, you'll be able to see. See that? Let me turn it a little bit better so you can see. See that? wherever the glasses go. Isn't that cool? Wherever the glasses are, you can actually see what's on the display. So you see how everything's blue. We get the in the green up there, the TP OK. We're good. Let's go ahead and click through. Alright, so here's a white screen, black screen. Back to the numbers. Let's see. Black. Isn't that fun? You can only see gray. Little image there. Actual iPhone image. Let me turn the glasses. Hold on. There we go. Red, green, blue. Which that's all the pixels are, is red, green, and blue. There isn't any other, color. It's just red, green, and blue. But a mixture of those, you get all the different sorts of colors and everything. Isn't that fun? Whee! All right. So this looks good. We'll go ahead and turn that off. I'm going to grab right here, I'm going to grab my hot pink or baby pink metallic mold. This will allow me to line the display up with the new glass. So before I do that, let me just go ahead and clean this edge up. Put some gunk on it. Get that out of the way. Same on this side. Okay. Set that in there. Now we're going to go over it and clean up all these extra little smudges and smears that I just created. Cleaning, cleaning, cleaning. A lot of cleaning. But it pays off in the end because you end up with a beautiful new display. Like it never broke, and you can't ever tell that it broke, that it even has a scratch on it. Alright, so we're going to need a couple things in order to fix this. We're going to need to replace the polarizer that we removed. We're going to need the glass. We're going to need the bezel that we chopped off at the beginning. And we're going to need something to hold that all together. So, you may see me in some of my other videos do all of those separate. But what I have is I have a piece of glass that has all of that on it. It's got the adhesive, it's got the polarizer, it's got the frame, and I just put it inside this and it lines everything up and I'm good to go. Makes it a lot easier, a lot quicker. I can get the customer's phone in and out a lot faster and more reliable. There's less that can go wrong. Because if you look here, what I'm doing right now is I'm just getting rid of all the little dust specks that keep popping up here and there. Because if I seal this glass on top of this display and there's a dust speck, kind of like on a screen protector, if you get a dust speck, it's going to be there and it's going to stay there and it's going to bug you. And I don't want the customer to be bugged right as they look at their phone because there's a speck of dust under there or something. However, when I replace the polarizer separate and then I replace the adhesive separate, then I replace the glass separate, in each one of those processes I could have another chance of getting dust under it or in between one of those layers, and that basically makes it so 3 times the chances of getting dust. I'd stay away from that if I can help it. So here's what I was talking about. You can see how it's tinted. The polarizer's on there. Got the frame, glass, ready to go. It's got a little bit of a protector here, so I'm gonna get this little sticky tab on the corner up here. And I see another dust speck. A lot of dust specks today. Get that off of there. We're gonna pull the tab. I'm gonna take my glove off so I can really feel what I'm doing here. All right, here we go. Go away, dust. I just pulled the protector off. I'm going to set it right over it. I'm going to put some pressure. And then on the underside, see the hole there? I'm going to tap it with my finger. You see how that is a spot that's forming there. It's where it's basically the glass is stuck to it. There we go. Alright, so now I'm going to take you guys over to see the final process. So as you can see, the adhesive spot is growing, and there's like a little speck in there, a little, what do you call it, speck, but bubble. I'm going to take it over here, and I'm going to line it up. Hold on one second. Kind of hard to do this without, there we go, without as many hands as I need it to be. Okay. Now that I've got that in there and that aligned, I'm going to go ahead and open up this. Alright. And we'll slide the tray in. Alright. Close the door. Start the machine up. What you got here, a couple things. You've got this right here is a vacuum. It's gonna pull a negative pressure. I'm gonna get negative 87 kPa, and right here, you can see there's this heat plate. There's pressure and danger. Don't touch this, it's really hot. Because it is at 54 degrees Celsius right now. And what we're going to do is we're going to wait 40 seconds. So we got about 20 left. And then this will pop out. Typically with the bigger screens, we're going to end up with some bubbles. So we're going to move over to that machine right there, which is at 56 degrees Celsius. This is called an autoclave. It is basically a pressure chamber, which is going to push out all the extra bubbles. This one only takes 40 seconds, which is done. Turn that off. Oh wait, open this up. Pull this out. And let's just examine it real quick for any bubbles. Looks like I don't see any bubbles. You'll see some, of course, as I set this back down. But even then, we're gonna give this a couple minutes here in the autoclave. Let me go ahead and open that up. Stick that in there. I think this will only need a minute or two, and so I'm gonna go ahead and adjust that to, let's give it 2 minutes, and hit start. Alright, and so when this is done in 2 minutes, I'll come back and we'll finish out the video. I'll show you it working. Alright, we are almost done with this. Here in about 10 seconds, you're going to hear the release of the pressure. Sometimes scares me because I don't realize it's coming, and then it hits and it sounds like pretty cool. Here, you'll see it in a second. And alright, here we go. Okay, let's go test it out. Sorry for the shakiness. Just gonna have to deal with it. Okay. Grab our tester again. There we go. Okay, finally connected. All right, we'll go ahead and turn that on. There's all of our beautiful blue numbers saying, hey, we're all good to go. Let's go through these real quick. White, black, gray, image, another image, and that looks great. Red, green, blue, black, white, and we are back around in the beginning. We'll turn it off and we are done. So this will now be reassembled to the customer's phone. They will be on their way. The best part about this whole process is with most companies, what they're gonna do is they'll replace the screen they'll replace your screen with another screen. Most of the time, and with almost every single repair shop, especially here with my competitors, they're going to replace it with an aftermarket screen. Now I carry these screens on hand as well because most of the time they're just as reliable. They're a little bit less cost effective, and they require a little to no work like we just did now. The only thing is the quality of the display isn't always the same. For those of you who have had negative experiences with what I'm talking about, you know exactly what I mean, where the touch is like not as sensitive, or it's less sensitive, or too sensitive, and the color's not the same, it's different. I've seen some screens with simple sunglasses react to different because of the polarizer messes with the other polarizer on an aftermarket screen. Now this right here, you're getting your original screen back, which means that the way it functioned before is going to be the same way it functions now, and you'll have the same quality, the same everything, and you know that it's a good screen because it's the screen that you were used to, and so you won't have any issues there. I recommend doing it this way. Of course, it takes a little bit more for me to do it. You can see this video taking over, a half an hour. So if you made it through it, good job. I applaud you. But yeah, this process is fun for me, cost effective as well, and it allows the customer to have a good experience because when they get the device back, nothing has changed except it's now fixed and not broken anymore. So, I mean, it goes to show that when something like this happens and you end up with something as beautiful as that, what it can become again. It can be renewed. That's what I'm about. Yeah, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Thanks, guys.